Guess it's a time
Good
delay.
evening, everybody. So always nice to see your faces. Yeah, and if you can put your screen so we can see everybody, that would be awesome.
Okay.
There we go. Nice to see you all.
Okay, so we are live now, so I think that should be good. Okay. And let's see here. Sorry, folks, I'm just working on the settings here. I'd like to start recording this on the cloud. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay, Mark, I just want to confirm if you are, let me just make sure I can hide you here. Okay, perfect. Okay.
It looks like I have video and sound, so please confirm.
Yep, you are
Yes,
loud and clear.
perfect.
Call's being
Awesome.
recorded
Thank you.
and it's broadcasting. Perfect, perfect. Well, Mark, listen, thank you for joining us. Really, really, really appreciate you and really appreciate the conversation that you and I had with Tammy. And in fact, I got really excited about the future and the way you're launching all of this. And I thought it would be a wonderful opportunity to share this with the team. And that's one of the reasons why we hosted this call this evening. So thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so folks, just to give you a little bit of, again, you saw the email and you have an idea what we're going to be talking about. But just to give you a little bit of a background, again, very short, but just a nice background for Marc Blanchard. By the way, Mark, are you French? Blanchard?
I am actually there is French Canadian in my. I just did what was that genetic test, the
Oh.
1, 2, 3, the one that just went bankrupt, and I have a lot of French in me. So yes, French Canadian.
Blanchard,
Awesome.
you can't get more French than that. So that's why we're
I
sticking.
know.
But folks, Mark brings over 25 years of growth focused on leadership and business management, sales, and marketing. Known for building and driving high performing team and driving growth. And I've seen that in our conversation. So that's why I'm really excited. He built out of and ran and sell the company. Sorry, he built out and ran a sales for a company called Cambria, taking them from 25 million to $1 billion company in 8 years. Now that's exciting. So, Mark, I know we've talked about the question and everything else, but before I turn this over to you, Tammy, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, it was just a pleasure connecting with you, Mark, and you're extremely professional, and that means a lot to us. You're very structured, and yeah, I really believe that you're going to align really well with everybody in the organization, and we are super excited to meet you in person as we discussed possibly November. So,
Yeah,
mhm.
and I just also want to acknowledge all the folks that are here. Alice, Casey, thank you for joining in. Beth, thank you for coming here. Beth and Chuck, I'm sure Chuck is around you. Bill and Linda probably around you. Chaba, great to see you here. We have Jasmine, we have Jay. Welcome. Oh, here's Linda. Good. We have Lucie. Bonsoir, bonsoir Lucie. We have Marie-Paul, and we have MC from Texas. We have Sylvie Cossette de Quebec. And I think we have Bob, but the Bob, I don't know if there's audio and video there. But
And
anyway,
Jay as
welcome.
well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and Jay. Yes, I did mention Jay.
Yes.
So
Welcome, everybody. Oh,
yes,
Jazz
yes.
just popped in. Welcome,
No, I
Jazz.
mentioned Jess. Yeah, I did mention her, and I know some of you are going to be popping in. And if you happen to be here on our broadcast on YouTube, please feel free to post your comment. I'll be monitoring this also on my cell phone, and so we can address them. Mark, excuse me. Mark, if maybe you could start by kind of introducing yourself to the team and understand that this call is recorded. Even if not everybody's here live, they'll have an opportunity to listen to the recording. Maybe share what you feel would be appropriate for you to share for folks to get a better idea of who you are.
Perfect. Before I do that, I just, I hope your team knows how involved Chris and Tammy, you guys are with Max. I think, it bears noting, you guys are, dare I say, almost an advisory council, or, I know you're diamonds, but you guys, your team should know that you operate at a different level, I think, with the organization than maybe what is normal. You've been a huge help before I came on to the team in guiding on what needed to be changed and how to change it. So I just wanted to say that before I started and who I am. what the company looks at Chris and Tammy as is probably different than what most people are aware of. So I just wanted to say that to start. As an introduction, look, I've done full commission sales. I've done VP of sales. I've done president of company. I've done CEO. I've done chief revenue officer. The chief revenue officer job is the most fun. Life is too short. When I was CEO of a company, I sat in an office and I looked at paper and signed checks, and it was horrible. I am a salesperson at heart, so this is why this role fits me really well. Jonathan came to me about a year ago and brought up this company that he was looking at. And I've worked with Jonathan for about 10 years on other projects. He brought this to me and he wouldn't even tell me what the company was because he kept saying, they're not ready for you, Mark. They're not ready. They're going to be ready as soon, but they're not ready for us yet. So when he approached me, I couldn't have been happier, right? It was to building something, and this is what you guys do on a daily basis. Building something is what's fun, right? Building your network and adding to it. That's where I get my life. That's where I get excited. So Jonathan approached me and said, Mark, we have this incredible products. Actually, let me take that back. Here's what he said to me. I asked him, why would I come here, Jonathan? And he says, because we have great people and we have great products. Now, if you're in sales, right? Two things are important. One is it's pretty easy to sell when you have a great product. And then the people portion of it is not just you guys out in the field, it's also the management team that he's brought into place. And when I was looking at the company, I'm talking to Tanya, I'm talking to Mike. He's built out a pretty amazing team to go forward. And so it made coming over here a pretty easy decision. So that's the impetus of Chris and Tammy, of where this all sort of came from. I'm a sales guy at heart. I'm happiest in the field. I think that comes across hopefully when I talk to you guys. Like I get in my happy place when I'm talking about the future and what we can do. But I think in a nutshell, that's my past. I will talk about the Cambria briefly. When I started there, it was a Midwestern company. I was living, and by the way, I live in California now, but if you can tell, I have not lost my Wisconsin accent. So even though I've been here for 20 something years, it's very upsetting to my wife and friends around me that I sound so Wisconsin. But I truly love the building part. And at Cambria, we were given free reign by a family that ran a business to do what we knew we needed to do to succeed and to grow. And that's an important thing to walk away from this. Gave me the tools that I needed to go succeed. The reason we went from 25 million to $1 billion within 8 years is because he gave me everything I needed to get there, whether that be collateral, samples, you name it, marketing, advertising. He gave it all to us. And so I know how to do this when I'm given what I need. So anyway, that's probably my history in a nutshell. Chris, do you want me to talk about, we've had a couple good conversations now. Do you want me to kind of go into what we're looking at, what the future looks like, what's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, I'd love to follow the agenda, and we can always expand because some people may have some questions, comments, which can deviate to different direction. But thanks for that. I appreciate you giving a bit of your feedback. What would be, and I know that the team is always anticipating, okay, when is Max going to be what it used to be, the back office? But let's start with the current status of Max and look at what's exciting, future ahead. I know we talked about certain things, and maybe you can share with the audience listening in and folks that are going to be listening on the recording, what's ahead for Max International.
Well, what's ahead is growth and hopefully back to some sort of normalcy. So I was hired for actually take it back, 2 reasons. 1, to be your advocate, and 2, to grow sales. And the 2 are very much interrelated. I don't know what happened in the past, and we can address that here in a little bit. But I do know that the focus of this company has been on, it's 3 things very simply. It's pay, the people, product, systems. So anything that you hear top management talk about in the future, it's going to be about one of those topics, right? So I guess let's go into things that we've been working on that maybe people need update on. The systems. So we have been diligently, I think I am personally on about 9 hours a week of sitting on calls with By Design, working on the new system to make sure that we hit the deadlines that we've put out. It's looking like that we're going to have the ability, as of right now, with the new system for Tammy, Chris, just for you guys to start playing with it a little bit, right? Before we put it out to the whole group just to see. Because look, whenever you launch these type of systems, there's going to be some bugs. There's going to be a couple things that glitch here and there, some data missing that's not matching up, but that's normal. I've done 3 or 4 of these in the past. They're always painful, but this one's coming, which I think maybe I just brushed over that a little too quickly. This is coming. I know what you guys have gone through because, quite honestly, when I got hired, I couldn't even get into Exigo. I can't see anything in Exigo. Like I can't even change what level of access I have, and I have full access. So I understand partially the extreme pain that you guys have been going through with the systems. So that's number one. We are hyper focused on getting that new system out to you. It's going to be in the launch, it probably not 100% functional when we truly launch it November 1st. We'll probably have, 50% of its true functionality, but at least it will cover the basics, right? You'll be able to go online, you'll be able to order, you'll be able to set new people up. It will have most of your basic functions. That is priority number one. And the whole team, just so everyone understands, it's a whole team thing. We probably have 6 people from and there's only like 8 of us in corporate. There are 6 of us sitting 9 to 10 hours a day just working on the system to make sure that we launch it. That should tell you how important we think this is, and it's also a statement to everyone in the field. We know what we have is broken and how important this is.
And folks, for those of you that may not be aware of the word Exigo, it's the company that's currently supporting our existing back office. And what's the new company again? You mentioned the company.
It's called By Design.
By Design, that's correct. And when we went to Mexico, as you guys are aware, Tammy and I went there with Mike and a few other leaders, Rick Monterosa, and we had a really, really good time. And they gave us a bit of a demo, and it was fantastic. I mean, the functionality was great, and you can see that it's completely fully compatible to today's social media tools that are around us, which is absolutely amazing. I know Tammy and
Yeah,
I.
and many top network marketing companies use this company By Design, so that was very exciting to hear as they were showing us the demo. So we're excited because we're moving forward, and we know that it's been painful for every single one of you here, plus everybody else who hasn't been able to get on the live today, but they will catch the recording, and make sure that you share the recording with everybody in your team so everybody's kind of up to date. But they're going to have a new name. It's going to be exciting. We're literally going to be Max 2.0, starting with a really strong foundation that we all know that is so powerful, and that is our products speak for themselves. So we all know how powerful our products are. We've got great leadership in place that are ready to run. And yeah, sorry, I'm kind of taking over here, but I'm excited about this new system.
Yeah, no, me too, Tammy, and I'm glad actually you're sharing, and that's one of the reasons, folks. I wanted to do this call this evening with Mark. One is to introduce him. I thought he's very dynamic. He has a great personality, and I think is when I say I think is I feel really really confident that he's going to be a great asset to help us evolve and move on into a new era, what we call Max 2.0. And I know that there was some discussion that October 1st we would be launching, but folks, we know when you deal with technology, things happens, unforeseen situation occurs, and that's the reason why they delayed to November 1st, because there's some things that weren't working that now they're figured out and everything else. So I feel very confident that we will be launching this around, but I'm assuming that we'll have access. So people like Tammy and I, maybe a couple leaders that we understand the functionality, will be able to function and see, confirm that what we're used to see and a functioning back office that we'll see with the new one. So I'm assuming that will occur.
Yeah, that'll absolutely occur. It's a big part of our plan. I do want to point out, look, I'm new. I get it. And maybe I can be the whipping boy for, past sins of this company. I hope not. I hope you look at me as someone that's going to help you, grow in the future. But I get it. The last thing that I want coming on new is, you guys are salespeople, that saying under promise, over deliver, right? I live by that mantra. And especially in the sales world, it makes an average sales rep great if they live by that mantra, right? And the last thing I shouldn't say this, the last thing we can afford as a company at Max is to stumble right now. Right. We've had problems, and I've, Chris and Tammy, we've spent probably too much time talking about the past just because the AI needed to be educated just to know, what has happened and how the
With
world's
the
been
history.
for you. Yeah, the history, it matters to me. That tribal knowledge is really important to me. And it helps me make sure that I guide us into the future, safely. And so if there's ever a moment where something changes, you're going to hear from me, right? Because I'd rather be, I might not know everything. And it's clearly the case in this company. I start every call with management going, okay, this might be a stupid question. I think they're getting tired of me saying it, but I truly, I'd rather tell you I don't have the answer to something than BS you and give you some answer that's not real. I'd rather just say that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. We have to be better than what we've been in the past. And that's, I guess when I say I'm your advocate, when Jonathan hired me, we sat in a room and he talked about, my role. It was so great to hear when he said, your job is not only to grow, but to be the field's advocate. Because when you're an outside person and you're doing this independently, and you can feel like an island sometimes. And to know that you have someone, and I hate to use the word corporate, but in corporate that is fighting on your side, and quite honestly, might disagree with management inside, right? That's my role as CRO, is to be your advocate and fight for what you guys need to grow. Because without you guys, we don't grow.
Agreed. And and folks, feel free to post some of your questions if you have any. I know Myra Paul, I've posted a few here, and I think Lucy, and I'll address them one by one. And obviously, we know that there's still, and I know you're not the accounting aspect, but we talked about this.
Yeah.
Some folks are probably wondering, okay, what about the back pay? I know there's still, and I appreciate you guys have delivered at least 50% or more of the back pay. Where are we with that?
So yes, and thank you. And I know I need to address this. And as I told Tammy and Chris, it almost made me nauseous when I stepped into this role and found out what had happened. I think you two will both attest to. I think you saw my face, as we talked about it. I've been an outside rep, and that's a commissions is a mortgage, it's a car payment, it's why everyone does this. So I was appalled, but again, this was past management, and this management team's spent a lot of time trying to fix it. So we are a little over 50%. And money is extremely tight right now, as we're still fixing things. So what I've gotten from management is I've gotten an agreement that no matter what, something will be contributed every single week to paying down this number. And I think the total number was close to 260,000, and we're down to about $100,000. So we are ticking away and knocking these things off. Let's address not happy that it happened, but B, I think the company's doing, probably not as fast as you want, but given what was done to the business, we're getting there. Or this management team is really working towards that. So I've gotten Jonathan, I've gotten Simona to do a personal guarantee that money every single week will go into a fund that goes out to paying you guys.
Nice.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
look, even if it's, and I hate to even if it's $1,000, right? But it's a statement to how important this is. And again, I'm sorry that this is even a conversation. It's certainly not how I want to be introduced to the world. Talking about here I am to do growth and stuff, and we owe you money. Um, but it is, we're hyper focused on it. I can tell you, Jonathan, we meet regularly on it. Simona and I meet regularly on it. So it is, we have guarantees. It will be paid off. I do know for a fact, because we're very close, and maybe Jonathan has updated the team in the past, but we are very close to working with some financial people in a big way. And this is listed out to these people, the investors, as the first check written. It is absolutely written in as this is first money going out. It's to catch up the reps in the field.
Cool. Appreciate that. And in credit to Max, folks, I mean, Tammy and I, and many of you have been around for a while. Many, by the hundreds, network marketing companies have closed their doors and left and ran with everything, right? And here's Max stuck around and going to the thick and thin, and the future is bright. So I just thought of giving you this feedback from coming from me anyway. I do appreciate that, and I see what's going on in the world, and the fact that we have products that are so solid, so credible, and people that have moved on are still using our supplements. They're still ordering. It is a testament to that. So that's probably one of our greatest, I would say, our greatest asset for now, anyway. That will get people in. Which I know it's probably too soon, but I just wanted to kind of and feel free to kind of keep it short or to. Because I don't know if I'm out of line to share this, but I know you're talking about a promo that's coming in November 1st. Just to kind of let people know that there's going to be a really nice incentive to bring back our customers, bring back our auto ships and everything else. I don't know if you're allowed or if you can even touch on that a little bit.
Absolutely. And it's one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be on the call today. So when Jonathan brought me in and I started looking at everything, I said, what this team needs is it needs something to jumpstart them, something to be excited about, something to like, okay, because look, the past has been painful for everyone. And so my role is to like, hey, let's create something super positive. So I've gotten and Chris and Tammy, you've seen it, so don't share the Christmas gifts before we're going to open them. But we've created, and please just confirm this, we've created a pretty nice blitz. It's going to be a 3-month blitz that we plan on launching November 1st. I'm going to probably have Chris and Tammy tease it out to you about a week before. I just want to make sure that we're ready on the back end, right, with the new system before we really get going with it. But if you two can comment, it's a nice blitz. It's got a lot of cash components. We've built it so that it's not just big players winning. We've built it so that every single level can win. We've built in some random things where people can randomly, be in drawings and win. So my whole goal was to create something. When I went to Jonathan, I said, and again, I know Jonathan hasn't been here, but most of you probably know Mike and Tanya. And I said, hey, I want to build something that's at least as big or close to as big as anything that you guys have ever done here. And I wanted cash components, and I wanted multiple layers of people built in, that could participate in this, because I've been part of these blitzes too, and you've got to build them right. And Chris and Tammy, you guys made some really great suggestions that brought more people in as far as like a first and second and third on things, and that was super helpful. I completely missed that. So we're really excited about it. I have so many details to share with you guys. We've tweaked it. We've tortured it. I have approval for it. It is going to be, and again, you guys have seen it, so don't let me be the only one spouting how good it is. Let me share with you. I showed it to Tanya today, and I thought I'd sent it to her, and I hadn't. So I sent it to her today, and she looked at it, and she goes, "How the hell did you get this approved?" Those were her only words to me. So that means I've accomplished something decent here, because for Tanya to think that, I've got a nice little plan here, she just kept coming back going, oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. This is great. People are going to be so happy. So it's coming. The plan is November 1st. And we as a team are very excited about it. Now, before anyone asks the question, because I would be asking this question, we're launching a blitz that, yes, is paying out cash prizes, and yet we have people that are still owed past commissions from other things. And I've also learned that other people have one thing. Yeah. So I will tell you that Chris and Tammy, when they look at it, I shared with you guys the ROIs. This thing pays for itself.
Mhm.
It really does.
Mhm.
If it's all about, if and I guess I will share one thing. It's really about a new birth, a restart for Max. That's why we're calling it New Max. Um, it's really about reactivations. It's really about adding new people because we're back. We have the back systems in place. We're fixing our money issues. We are slowly adding more and more inventory. So that's what it's really about. That's what it's incenting. Um, so I get it, but we are the money. This is self-sustaining. It's not taking money from other parts of the business that we wouldn't be paying you back from other things, and anything extra will that we do success-wise in this will go to paying back those commissions. That's the other guarantee that I have from management is that it is self-feeding, and anything over the top is going to go back to paying other things.
And
And I
and
and I go ahead.
no, see, please, Mark. I thought you were done. Please continue.
I will say, and I hesitate to say this, and if my wife was in earshot, she'd probably shoot me for saying this. I will give you my personal guarantee, Mark Blanchard's personal guarantee. I will pull money out of my personal funds to make sure people get the money out of this blitz if the company can't afford it. That's how important this is. That's how engaged we need everyone to be. If a prize is X number of dollars and the company hasn't made enough to do it, I will cover it personally. Guys, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this to help build you guys back to what it was and then some. Whatever your height was, let's double it. That's where my head goes to. When I built a $1 billion business, that was the first time I've ever done it. And the owner said to me, as I was trying to build in my brain $100 million business, he's like, "Why settle for 100 million? Why aren't we talking about a billion?" And it's that mindset that's never left me, and that's where I see taking this.
Brilliant. See, when Tammy looked at this promotion that you're launching on November 1st, and she did the addendum, it was brilliant because the goal is we want to make sure it's not always the elite that always gets all the prizes. That we want to try to increase, include as many people that are willing to participate. And it's a really a brilliant way to go about it. And the reason for that, it's not only it will give you an opportunity to earn extra cash for doing these meeting those incentives, but it's going to requalify you, which we know that your income is going to be impacted by that. So it's in other words, it's going to rebuild your team and your downlines team and everything else. So it's a win-win. So the company creates this incentive basically for us to do our own job. But we know that people are a little bit discouraged and they're tired, and so having that extra that carrot at the end of the stick, matter speaking, it just gives you a better, more of an incentive to do the little steps that are necessary to reactivate people and of course bring new people. And so it's a combination of all of this that is going to feed the organization and your business, which is really really exciting. I don't know, Tammy, if you have any other
Yeah,
comments.
so we can't share anything right now, you guys. I mean, we made the decision that obviously the Blitz has to be launched when we have our new website. So we
Yeah.
have, being able to easily place orders, to easily sign people up. So we decided to incorporate that all together. You are going to be so excited because we know every single one of you. And we know what you've done, and we appreciate, everything that everybody's done to build this. And coming back with a 2.0, knowing that Max, some of you guys have been with us since day one. And how many times have we come back? And we always come back. And we've come back stronger, right? So I really believe that they're putting it all together now, and they had to clean up. We get it. As business people, we understand. You have to clean up first, and then you start building that foundation again. And we get back to the people who may have kind of fallen off, discouraged, whatever. Let's get back to them. Let's create some group sessions and let's reignite everybody, everybody in the teams. And I think that if we continually doing that, and we're working together and helping each other do that, we're going to build it up faster. We're going to increase everybody's incomes again, and we're going to create some excitement and momentum. I'm excited about this. I know you guys haven't seen it. You're asking. I know, Lucy, you're curious right away. You're going to be excited. Trust me.
Yeah.
I
And
know
again,
all of you.
the call tonight here, folks, is to let you know that it's been quiet, right? We all know, and what's happening, what's going on with Max? Where are we? Are we still in business? And the purpose of this call is for you to see that yes, we're definitely in business and we're moving forward. And that's so it's not just a raw. We want you to know that we feel comfortable and excited about what's coming. The best explanation I could say to analyze what happened in the past to where we are in the future, imagine you having a barrel of water and you're living somewhere in a country and there is a lake of water that you go in and you take your barrel to your lake and then you fill it all the way to the edge. But the problem, like our current government, there's 50 holes on that barrel. And by the time that you get the water from the source, you go back to the cabin, you lost about 40 to 50% of the water because of the 25 little holes that are there, right? And what Max did is they basically got rid of the old barrel with the 25 holes, and it's a barrel with no holes, if you understand my meaning. So now when they make the money is being distributed where it's supposed to go and not having these 25 holes with all these different leaks where money was going, like our existing governments, that's Canadian or US. You understand what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, this is what's going on, and it's hard to express, but this is the best explanation I can tell you, I can give you here. And this promotion is really going to help us encourage people to do the little steps, the little things, to make these extra little calls, to not even call new people. Of course, that is going to be part of the process, but just by reaching out to existing customers, that have been having some challenges, issue, whatever, to come on board. And as they come on board and you meet these requirements that are going to be part of the contest, Lucy, that kind of gives you a bit of an idea. Well, there's going to be incentive for that, right? So this is what it is. And maybe it might be a good time right now to answer some of the questions. We've been at it for about half an hour. Unless anybody else has any comments you want to add, Mark or Tammy?
Well, can I just say real quickly?
Yes, please.
I think the best analogy that I love your barrel. Think of pushing a boulder up a hill, right? And I use the universal term we, right? We have gotten the ball almost to the top of the hill, right? And once we get it right to that crest, then everything just starts rolling down and things get easy again. We are still, right? We are still, as a management team, we are like inches from the top and we're all working in one direction to push that ball over. We are so close. We're not perfect yet, but things are there, right? The momentum is there. Everyone is starting to feel a little better. Yes, we put out fires here and there, and yes, there's always going to be an individual thing, but boy, I tell you, guys, that ball is darn near at the top of that hill, and you're going to want to be ready for when it starts rolling down the hill, because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening.
Agreed. And Marie-Paul, so I mean, I can relate to your question because, in fact, my very first instinct is when I was addressing Mark, I call him a CFO, and it's not CFO, it's CRO, and she was asking what's the meaning of CRO? If you could share.
Sure, it's Chief Revenue Officer. So Chief Revenue Officer is in charge of anything that's generating revenue, right? So it puts me over marketing. It puts me over anything sales related. It puts me, anything that is creating revenue for the company, it puts me over, because that will help me make sure that every decision made, it helps me make sure every decision made doesn't overlap or conflict with another, another thing, right? Um, maybe some of you don't know this, but normally sales and marketing people don't get along because salespeople think they're doing all the work and creating all the wealth, and marketing people think they're responsible, but the salespeople know who's right. But it allows me to make sure that all the levers I'm pulling are all pulling in the same direction.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And in reference to the name, I know we've addressed it on our call about a month or two ago when we came back from Mexico. What was the name again? It's not a new company name. It's the actual link to access instead of MyMax Office,
It's
which is a
not my
little
Max
awkward.
office.
What was the
Yeah,
name again?
it's gomax.health
Yeah.
is going to be
GoMax.health.
the new link.
That's right.
And it just I work on that. I think some of you know Jurgen, Aaron. We work on that every single day. We've just brought Tanya in just from her customer service background, just to make sure we're not missing anything. So she's part of the team, and it's exciting. It's looking really good. It's functioning well. We think it's aesthetically pleasing. It's going to allow us, and I find this kind of funny. As we're getting ready to do this blitz, like a leaderboard, right? I want to announce to everyone, hey, here's who's the top 10 people going here, or being able to show, hey, here's the fast up and comer, right? We don't have the capability of doing that right now, which is really frustrating as a sales leader. But that's coming, right? That's going to be part of this new system. So it's pretty exciting.
I do have one question for the promo itself. Is it designed for North America, maybe Australia, New Zealand? Like what markets is that for?
Good question.
It's designed for North America and Oceania, which would be,
Okay.
New Zealand and Australia. We're not
Okay.
doing this in the Philippines. We're not doing this in other areas. We are hyper focused on those areas.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
I think Lucy November 1st been answered. Let's see here. Will there be money saved back payment? You talked about that. Does it mean we will be paid weekly? I don't know if there's an answer for that.
Well, it doesn't, we're putting money into the fund to pay back. So weekly. So if we have a week that, we've done well and money's right, and we put 10,000 in, we will, disperse 10,000 out into the field for back commissions. If we'd only put, a couple thousand in that week, we will disperse a couple thousand. So, I can't guarantee when we will get whole. Jonathan, as you know, Chris and Tammy will agree and say things sometimes that you wish he didn't. As far as the goal, guys. Again, if we got money from the private equity people we're working with, you're the first money out, and that would be paid tomorrow, right? If we closed on the funds tomorrow, it is the first thing that we're paying back. So I can't guarantee what that means to you individually. Just know that every single week money's being put in that fund to pay you back.
Cool. Okay, now Candy here says she missed the first 15 minutes of the call and wondering if what's the current dealing with the back orders of some of the products. I know that the Infuse. I know we have some information about this. Will there be no promotion be affecting in the back orders? I don't know if you can see the message here in the chat.
No, so and I'm looking in the chat here. Hold on, let me pull it up. So 15 minutes. And who asked the question about that? Was that Tammy?
No,
Who
that's
asked about that?
Candy. That's
Candy.
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 Yeah.
Candy, those first 15 minutes were my best 15 minutes. I can't believe you missed the first 15 minutes.
Recording. There's a
You'll
recording.
get
Yeah,
the recording.
okay. So the back order of products has been another frustration. I understand that. I understand that we have the Max Infuse coming in. It would have been in already, except for I think the person handling one of the machines that makes it was sick. If you can't make this stuff up, a person that was responsible for one specific machine that did one specific thing in the factory was out sick. So that has affected things, but that is coming in very soon. I know that the ATP just came in and is being shipped out. We have plenty of Celgevity. We have plenty of the GLP. We don't have any issues, I don't think, with the GXL. But look, we can't have that going forward, right? I mean, everyone knows that you're out there killing yourself selling this stuff, and it's the reason why, subscribe and save is down, is people have been sitting around waiting for 5 months, to get something. So yeah, it is. And that's why I put on when I say the company has three priorities, product was one of the three, right? That we know that we need to get more inventory, and again, hyper focused on it. We're looking at other suppliers. It is first and foremost one of our priorities.
Okay, adjustment is a question and reference, and that's one of the reasons when you bring promotion too soon, it creates, anticipation. I'm in a process of signing up a customer in October. Will it still benefit from the November promotion?
Nope. You will. And I don't want you to wait to bring them on either. But look, that's part of the sales blitz. There's a start date, there's an end date. The start date's November 1. That's when it starts. I can't change that, because otherwise it would become impossible for me to track, early people in, and does this guy count, or a guy came in the day after. It's a start date and an end date.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. And Lucy, your question, I think Jasmine answered it, is gomax.health. Okay, and okay, let's see here. We saw we checked the site early. Okay, by November 1st, folks, if you go there now, I don't know what you're going to see. I don't think you'll see anything at the
No.
current moment. What about the marketing tools, direct link to buy? Yeah, this is the whole point. In fact, Sylvie, this is something I was very, very adamant. Tammy and I, when we started doing our lives in the morning when we train and promoting our Celgevity, and I love the Max GXL. I remember my dreams in the morning. I'm telling you that GXL never fails when it comes to that. Definitely, these are things that I'm really counting on too. So
Yeah, and
yes.
they're on board with the future of online marketing as well. There's experience behind, because I think that's really where you want to go there, Sylvie. We discussed some of that. So yeah, I think that's going to be in round two, Mark. From what I'm understanding, we're going to get everything, the interface in place, people being able to make purchases, and then we're going to take it to another level into the marketing aspect.
Yeah. And we're not going to wait, Jurgen and I, and again, I don't know how many people have met Jurgen, but
Yeah, everybody.
today we had a good discussion about, when we launch this blitz, how important, social media is going to be for us, right? We can't just go into this without doing anything. So we've got to reactivate just normal organic social media. We have to reactivate paid media on our side, to drive people. We're going to be able to, like a Chris Tammy, give you guys in the field, an ad that your team can run that has a pixel in it, so that if anyone goes and orders, it'll be attributed back to you, and the tree will continue. So these are all happening sooner than you think, because it's what a great time to start doing this.
Mhm.
Except for during the blitz, right? I mean, that's when you want to. So we're taking baby steps. It won't be, all in, but we are definitely going to start doing the basics to start supporting, organically, at least at first, some social
Perfect.
media.
Beautiful, excellent. Now, Jay, I can tell you that so what about if you're re-signing up a customer or a rep previously that was enrolled under another rep? I'm not sure if you're asking if it's okay for you to sponsor someone that was sponsored by someone else. The rule of thumb is if someone has been inactive for over 6 months, technically these people are free agent. But I would be careful. I know me personally, I would never take anybody from one of my team members because I do not want this kind of negative friction. So I would certainly recommend that. But if someone in your downline sponsors a new rep or gets a new rep, they're the one who obviously is going to benefit. So I don't know if that answers your question, Jay. Feel free to repost the question if it's not clear.
Or if their
Um,
sponsor had quit a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they're out
They
of the
can
question. They're
re-enter.
not
Yeah.
interested. I
Yeah.
even call the person and say, "Hey, are you still open?" For me, that's an opportunity to say maybe that person wants to re-engage, and
Yeah.
because that person wants to sign, that's the way I would look at it. But again, you run your business as you see fit. Now, there's some questions about.
Yeah. There you go. He
We
just
talk
was
about the.
clear on, Jay was just clear on his answer. So yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool, cool. Okay, perfect. There we go. And well, the entry we talked about, I know the 357 is a bit of story behind that one. I'm not sure if you have the knowledge to address that.
I have enough knowledge to be dangerous. So this is where you turn record off. So it can't be held against me with other management. So here's what I do know. It is not cost effective to make right now.
Yeah.
If that is as blunt and as direct as possible. It is, in my opinion, it's a great product. It is a little over engineered, and some of the ingredients are really expensive, really hard to get. So as a cost model, right now, it doesn't make sense given where our company is. Doesn't mean that, because I've heard nothing but amazing things about this product. It comes down to dollars and cents. We're going to focus on making sure that you have our core products available to you. And again, I don't want to say this is a core product, but given where its sales volume was and the cost of actually making it, it was an easy decision for management prior to me being hired to say, let's put that on the back burner until we right the ship.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
basically what they said to us
Yeah.
as
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
that it
It's in line
almost
with what we heard.
tripled the cost. And
Yes.
that's way too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
For an
I know
Omega
that's
product, look, it's a crowded market, right?
Yeah.
You can go to a GNC or every grocery store, you can go to Costco and they have jugs of 1,000 of them, right? So it's good to have a different story to tell, but you're also competing against, the cheap crap out there. And so we need to make sure that the numbers make sense.
yeah, and I agree, Lucy. I agree with
Yeah.
your
It
comment.
has to be affordable. Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, I mean, that comes to the end of our session here. I didn't want to extend the call longer than it needs to be. The fact is, I want to. I'm not sure the exact time we're going to have our another session with a corporate member or maybe a few corporate members, depending what's going on. But definitely before the launch of the website to do some demos, trainings, feedback, maybe even the company that is behind the design of the back office, and there's lots of things that we can do, but I just wanted you guys to, the team, Tammy says, so don't say guys. Um,
Hey,
it's one of those
It's a
things.
bad habit of mine. I do it as
Oh,
well, and
I
I
swear to God, I
apologize.
try
Gals,
to,
guys.
keeps
I
telling me.
know.
But I guess you guys understand where we come from. So at the end of the day, it's promising. Tammy and I know me. I'm like a dog on the bone. I just don't let go. I just don't. I will fight to the death to make it work. And I know I feel it in my core that we're gonna rise up again. I feel very comfortable about it. And I just want to share that with all of you. And we try to put everything on the table. As you know, Tammy and I have always been very transparent with everything that we're allowed to share. And I feel very confident for the future. So unless there's any comments, if there's any one of you would like to add anything, feel free to raise your hand or let me know and I'll unmute you and maybe you can share with us here. I mean, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the pin and get everybody an opportunity to show. 1 second. Removed and removed. There we go. Now we should see everybody here. So if there's anybody who has any feedback, questions, comment, anything, feel free to share. If not, that's totally okay too. Don't want to put you on the spot. Just want to make sure you have an opportunity to voice anything that you would like to share. I'll just give it a couple seconds. And Jay, you made a comment here. I'm in a market with a lot of reps that has been inactive for years. I
Yeah. If
just
their
need to know
sponsor's
the direct team.
inactive
Yeah,
for a long
Jay, I
time, yeah,
trust
just
me. I'm
contact customer support. They'll support you on that.
Yeah, yeah. And the fact is, Tammy, we have a mammoth organization that's been it's they're floating everywhere in the air. So we do need to get to work
And
and start
start
getting people
calling
back
people.
on board.
Yeah.
And I intend to do that quite heavily. I guess at this point we can finish our call. I think everything is good. Well, listen, Mark, I really, really appreciate you. I think the team really does appreciate you. These guys are diehards. They've been there from get go, And, and I know that many others are going to be listening to this call on a recorded session. I'm not sure if the live is going. If not, I'm just going to be uploading this recording on our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to share it or view it or listen to it again. Mark, is there anything else that you want to add as we end?
I am, it takes a lot to excite me. I'm excited about doing this. I love the people. I love the product, and I'm looking forward to as we get going with this blitz. As you guys said, we're going to do an event up there, and hopefully can meet some of you face to face.
Cool. Now we
Yeah,
have a
we're looking
product.
at planning something in November for Toronto, and we'll have Mark
Oh
connect
yeah,
with Mike and Lynn. And maybe Mark, we can arrange you to stay a couple days longer, and we could drive up to Ottawa, Chris. We'll see how many
we'll figure
people
this
would
out.
be. Yeah, we'll
Right.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm at your disposal, so let's make it happen.
Cool.
Alrighty.
And let's not forget that this coming Thursday, folks, we have our presentation. I don't have the names in front of me, but I'm looking forward to your support, and let's get going. So, folks, thank you so much for attending. Really appreciate you all. And we will keep you posted as soon as there's new, fresh information. Thank you, Lucy. Okay,
Love you
everybody.
guys.
Bye for now.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.